So before we begin our tutorials today, know that within your HoverCam packaging, you will find a sheet of paper that has a QR code. And when you scan this QR code, it will take you to the HoverCam Academy tutorials. Our tutorials today will be an abridged version and applicable to our district computers. Inside of the package, you will find the green mat that will be used to place your HoverCam on top of. Go ahead and remove it from the plastic bag. This mat will be laid out and used to place your documents upon. Make sure that the HoverCam title is facing upright. Next, you will want to remove both your HoverCam and your orange cord. In order to extend the HoverCam, you will pull up and pull out. The actual video part of your camera can bend down as needed. Next, take your cord and on the non-USB side, so on this side right here, you will insert into the back of the USB. You're now ready to connect the actual USB cord into our district laptop. So here's what you will need to do in order to connect the USB to your computer. Pretty simple. Take the USB cord and plug it into the computer. Automatically, our computers will begin to recognize and set up the device. On the side of the camera, you will have 3 off-on settings. Know that this is not to turn your HoverCam on and off. The HoverCam automatically turns on when you plug it into the computer. This off-on switch is meant solely to turn the lights of the HoverCam on. You can turn just the front light on, or you can turn the top light on as well. In order to place the HoverCam upon the mat, you can find the placement that works best for you. However, the way that I place the HoverCam is I set it at the top corner of the square, and then I use the bottom square to set the piece of paper. Now notice that as you're looking at HoverCam, the paper itself is sideways. That's okay. I want it to be that way right now because what's most important to me is that the paper is facing the direction that's easiest for me to write on. In a few moments, I'll show you how to rotate the image so that it's not projecting sideways. So once you've plugged the HoverCam in and have made sure to turn it on, you're going to go to your Windows Start button and you're going to look for HoverCam for Chrome. Once you have that, you'll click on it. The first time that it opens, it's going to prompt you to choose where you're going to save your snapshot images and your video clips. Go ahead and press OK. Once you've done that, a box will open up. For now, you can choose your desktop and press Select Folder. With our old HoverCams, we were used to zooming in and out using a button directly on the HoverCam. But using HoverCam, you can zoom in and out digitally simply by pressing the plus or minus. You can also take a snapshot, which will save to your desktop or whichever folder you chose during that first step. If you would like to take a video clip, you can do that as well. In order to find your videos, you'll go down to your File Explorer, click on Desktop, and you'll see that a HoverCam folder has been created automatically after you save your first snapshot. Go into that folder and you'll see all of the snapshots that you saved while using the HoverCam. The snapshot is especially useful if you've, let's say, annotated a text that you want to be able to save or print off later or send home to parents or upload to Google Classroom or Seesaw. By taking the snapshot, it will save to your desktop and you can upload it to any of those platforms at a later time. If a student is, for instance, presenting their work, you could choose a video clip and then be able to share that video clip later with parents or for students to see again. Another way that this could be used is if you are teaching a lesson and a student is not there that day, you can quickly press the video clip button to record the lesson. They'll be able to see whatever's under your HoverCam as well as hear your voice as you're teaching. Oftentimes we want to freeze whatever is underneath the HoverCam. To do that, you're going to press pause. By pressing pause, even if the item under the HoverCam is moved, the image will remain frozen.
Now, if you would like to have the image frozen and you still want to be able to do other things on your computer, you will have to do it the way that we're used to, which is freezing the Promethean board with the remote control. Unlike the DocuCams, where you would switch back and forth between your computer and the DocuCam view using the actual DocuCam, with the HoverCam, you are viewing the image that the HoverCam is capturing from an actual program on your computer. So in order to switch screens, simply freeze your Promethean board from the remote control and you can continue working on your computer as needed. Now remember back to that sideways image. Let me show you how you would rotate it so that it shows properly on the screen. The first way is through rotating in the View options.
By clicking on View, you can rotate left, right. You can also mirror the image.
Or I can rotate the image by using the dial on the side of the HoverCam, simply by clicking the dial, and when I do that, it will rotate the image. So as you can see, by clicking it, I'm rotating or rotating back. Either option works. On the HoverCam itself, you can also rotate the image 180 degrees by clicking the center button. Let's return now to the View options. The last option that you'll see here is to go full screen,
which in this case we already are. You can also go full screen or exit full screen using these diagonal arrows up at the top. If your image looks out of focus, you can use the focus button in order to autofocus, AF lock, or select focus. By selecting the focus, I would be able to choose the exact spot that I want to be in focus.
And just like the focus controls that are in the program, you can also set the focus manually using the HoverCam. When clicking on the AF button, you are choosing to autofocus. If you want to freeze the focus, you will click on AFL, which stands for AF lock. This will lock the focus, which will prevent the DocuCam from continuing to attempt to focus. Additionally, you might notice that there is a small microphone on the side of the DocuCam. This can be used if you choose to use the DocuCam as a webcam instead of using the camera on your computer.
And lastly, if you would like to change the brightness or contrast of your image, click on Controls, and then you can adjust the brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness. At this point in time, we are no longer in distance learning and therefore are not using Zoom quite as often with students as we were before. However, I am going to go ahead and go over how to use the HoverCam with Zoom and Google Meet on the chance that you need to use it for parent conferences, staff meetings, etc. Now, once you are in a meeting, you'll see down here that where it says stop video, I can actually click on it and I can switch it from the computer camera to the HoverCam. Once it has been switched to the HoverCam, I would be showing only the HoverCam. However, I'm sure that in most situations where you would want your students to be seeing your face as well. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to my regular camera. And now that I'm back, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to click Advanced. And I'm going to click Content from Second Camera and click Share. And now you can see that I am sharing my HoverCam view as well as my students can see my picture. If I wanted to switch this camera, quickly I want the kids' attention to me, I can go switch camera. And now it will make it where the kids can see me big again. And when I'm ready to go back to my DocuCam, I just click switch camera again, and I'm right back to the DocuCam. This is a great feature for when you want to just get their attention real quick. When I'm done, I'll click stop share and then I'm back into the view. Let's go ahead and take a look at this now in Google Meet. I'm going to start a new meeting.
The first time you use HoverCam in Google Meet, it will ask you to grant permission to use the video as well as the microphone. Make sure you press allow.
And now when I go to present now, you'll see that the HoverCam has been connected. Once you've logged into Google Meet, in order to share your HoverCam, you're going to click Present Now, and then choose a window and choose the HoverCam. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my camera as well so that they can see me. You'll notice that even though it is sharing the HoverCam app, the screen itself is black. That's because I don't have the app actually open. You see that once I click on the app, everybody that I'm sharing my screen with will be able to see the HoverCam screen as well. And that is how you use HoverCam in Google Meet. We hope that you enjoy your new equipment, and if you need any help with anything, don't be afraid to reach out to myself or your technology TOSA, Leslie Ochoa.